What is going on, YouTube? I am Lamont at large. Today I am in North Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm going to show you the location of the Walter Scott shooting. At around 9:30 a.m., April 4th, 2015, 50-year-old Walter Scott is driving down the street in his Mercedes. He gets to about right here when he notices that he's being pulled over by a police officer. That officer is 5-year veteran Michael Slager. So he comes to this Advanced Auto Parts right here, makes a left, and parks. He pulls into this Advanced Auto Parts and he parks right about in this parking space right here. You can see in the dashboard camera video that you will see that storage shed right over there. And Officer Slager tells Scott to get back in his car. Slager, I would imagine, would be parked right there behind him. And Slager doesn't know at the time, but Walter Scott has a warrant for his arrest for failure to pay child support. So he's going to be a little flighty. He's going to be a little nervous. And this is where he takes off from right here, starts running. As Walter Scott comes running down this street right here, he turns to right, starts running right over here down this little alleyway. And according to Officer Slager's testimony, he caught up to Walter and then a fight ensued. Officer Slager pulls out his taser and tries to tase Walter Scott. As he's trying to tase him, Walter grabs his taser and they start fighting over it. And again, Walter Scott breaks free and starts running away from Officer Slager. Now, just by dumb luck, somebody was walking right here on the other side of the fence. They happened to have their phone on them, and they pulled it out and started recording the scuffle. Just as they started recording, that is when Walter Scott broke free and continued to run away. I would guess that the fight happened right around here, and as Walter starts running away, Officer Slager pulls out his gun and fires, I believe, 8 shots into the back of Walter Scott. 5 of them finding its mark. 3 bullets hit Walter in the back. 1 bullet hit him in the ear, and the last one hit him in his, I believe, right buttock. And right about here is where Walter Scott collapsed. And immediately Officer Slager gets on the ground, radios for backup as he's handcuffing him. Radios for backup, then handcuffs him. And this is where Walter Scott was caught and later died. I'm going to say this is about the exact location where Walter Scott collapsed. This is the tree right here. And 3 months later, in June of 2015, Michael Slager was indicted by a grand jury on the count of first-degree murder. Now, the first trial ended in a hung jury. However, the feds picked up the case and charged him with first-degree murder. He was out on bond at that time. However, he made a deal with the feds and pled guilty to second-degree murder. He was given 20 years in prison. I believe he was convicted in 2017. The last time I heard, when you get fed time, you have to do 85% of it. So 20 years and 85%. So I'm going to guess he's going to be in prison. He might be up for parole right at around, I'm going to assume 2035, somewhere around there. And he'll probably get the parole. considering he had no criminal arrest record at the time. And here we are at the Live Oak Memorial Park Cemetery here in Charleston. And this here is the grave of Walter Lamar Scott, beloved father, son, brother. 50 years old when he was murdered by a police officer who was sworn to uphold and protect. And I believe this is Scott's mother and father. And they were married for, I believe, 50 some odd years. Had to bury their kid. And I want to say this really quickly before I leave. The autopsy report shown in the toxicology test that Walter had trace amounts of cocaine and alcohol, I believe, in his system. And I don't care what he was doing or what he was on or what he shouldn't have been doing. At the end of the day, we all make choices in our lives, correct? But to be blatantly shot in the back like he was, I mean, you've seen the video, come on. It just, when I first seen the video, I was at a loss for words out of what I just seen. And thank God that person who pulled out their camera phone and recorded that. I mean, I believe the officer would have been indicted anyways just from the autopsy and the cop lying about what happened. But that, showed the world that, hey, I believe that most cops are good. But there's about 700 some odd thousand law enforcement officials in some capacity, form or another in this country, and they all can't be good. It's got a lot of bad ones, even if there's only 1,000 of them. You got somewhere in the ranks, so at least some form of justice was served in this case. So rest in peace to Mr. Scott and the Scott parents. Coincidentally enough, as I was walking in this cemetery, I was looking for this grave, and I thought I had found it. And as I looked, I noticed that the death date and birth date was wrong. I don't know. I believe this might be a relative. He has the same name, Walter Scott II. He just passed. I don't know how he passed. He's only 27 years old. I don't know if this is his son or what have you. I'm assuming it's his son, but I don't know. Very sad. Okay, guys, I'm Lamont at large. I'm out of here. I'm hitting the road. I will catch up with you on the next vlog. Be good, y'all. Peace out.